Store at Ralph channel. The trailer is hooked to the truck and the trailer is empty. That can only mean one thing. We're picking up a new vehicle. I'm at my cousin John's house and we're going to work on his 1946 Ford pickup truck. This truck already has a EFI 5.2 Magnum swapped in it that we did probably 10 or 12 years ago, and it had a 46RH in it. We're swapping it over to OBD2 with a 46RE transmission. What that's going to do is let him use a transmission out of this truck that was rebuilt in his 5.7 Hemi swapped Coronet. We'll talk about that later. But this also lets us have room to grow and possibly twin turbo this truck with some of the pieces that he already has and some of the PCM stuff that I have left over from the Diplomat project. So we're going to get started. We're at the point of, we took the built harness that I did in the previous video and we've got the old harness out. New harness is laid in the general area of where we want to put it. So everything's plugged in. We've got our loops of wires that are going to go into the cab. We've got a general area where the PCM is going to be mounted, and then we're going to be mounting the PDC up where that old hole is. We'll be able to plug that hole later. And then once we get that hooked up under the dash, we'll be wiring the data link connector so we can load a new tune into the PCM. The PCM that we're using is actually my old Diplomat PCM, which is tuned for boost and a lot more fuel. So we're going to load a stock tune back into the ECU and go from there. Some of it is getting tidied up. We're going to add a new in-cab fuse holder, so everything is going to be a lot safer and not melt the truck down, which is, well, would not be ideal, obviously. So we'll get this thing back together and start the tedious process of crimping and heat shrinking and making those electrical connections in the cab. Yesterday was a marathon day of wiring and hooking everything up on this thing. I didn't film hardly anything because realistically it's boring. If you want to watch wiring repair, I've got another video that has those techniques down in there. But this thing now is officially OBD2 swapped. We have it on jack stands, and so we were able to go through and test the shifting of the 46RE transmission, and everything works when you hit the brake pedal. It comes out of lockup, and overdrive still works on it. So that's electrically controlled on this type of transmission, where the first 3 gears are hydraulically controlled. So everything right now is working, and we're going to just tidy up some loose ends today and hopefully get a test drive. What I just did is I swapped the PCM out. What we did to get the car or truck running, we robbed a PCM out of a 96 Dakota that is totally stock, and it fires up, runs great, has a couple check engine lights because we didn't put a downstream O2 sensor in it because this does not have a catalytic converter. So what I put in is a PCM out of my Dodge Diplomat that was tuned with HP tuner, so I've got a credit on it. I'm going to go in and not really tune for performance today. I'm going to be tuning for just getting the check engine light to come off. So after a good long test rip, we're going to call this thing a success. We still have a couple things to wire back in, like the overdrive off switch and stuff like that. Wiring in the cooling fan, but it's got a mechanical on it, so that would just be for auxiliary use. This thing has always sounded really killer, and that stayed the same. So we're going to be revisiting it. We need to tune some things in the other ECU and get everything working, but right now it is a functioning driving OBD2 46RE 5.2 Magnum swap 46 Ford. So the other reason I was coming up to John's place, my cousin, we do a lot of trading around and have for years, working on each other's stuff. And what I've got is a 1996 Dodge Dakota 5.2 V8, which is in terrible condition. But the engine runs good, and that will probably end up in my little red Dakota with the 5-speed manual. So a little bit of work and a Magnum harness traded for a Dodge Dakota. I guess that's a good idea, right? This truck has no brakes, so basically just popped it in neutral and rolled it off the trailer. Once I got it down, got it to start, it was kind of hard starting at first, but now after a couple tries, this thing actually is starting to run pretty decent. Let's see what we got. I'm sure the gas is ancient. Not too shabby. Thing seems to sound pretty good. There's not much I'm going to save off this truck, but this little 318 might make my red truck a little ripper. Here it is, 5.2 Magnum, approximately 173,000 miles. Seems like it runs pretty good. I'm going to definitely save the engine for sure. And this is a 1-year 96 OBD2 AN or square body Dakota. So I'd like that harness because that means I can build a Magnum Dakota with something that I can actually tune with HP tuners or something like that. So I like this particular harness. I don't think there's much more to save off of this thing. The trans works-ish, I guess. I don't know. There's no brakes, so I'm too scared to try it. 4-wheel drive did work. And my son said it might have had a limited slip when we got it kind of stuck on the yard here. So might have to investigate that as well. You might notice that the truck is now moved away from my barn because it was on fire. And I wasn't filming because, well, we were putting out a fire. It wasn't a big fire. It's a bunch of mouse house and grease down on this lower cross member down in there. And so the longer I let it warm up, the exhaust got hot. Started smoldering and getting worse and worse, so we put it out with some snow. We're going to call that good, but I'm going to leave it over here just in case. The condition of this truck can be explained just by this license plate. Unfortunately, Michigan and Ohio eat vehicles. This truck won't be around here for very long. Get the engine, maybe transfer case if I feel like it, wiring harness, and get this thing to the scrap where it belongs. This truck kind of starts hard and has a high idle, and I look down here and I see that little line chewed off or broken off. The other end of it is right there. That is a vacuum line that runs the HVAC plenum doors. So I'm going to try plugging that off and see if this thing starts and runs just a little bit better. After even further inspection, I think my high idle problem could be attributed to the chewed or broken wire on the idle air control motor. So we'll see if we can repair that at some point. I'm not sure if I'm going to do that before I pull the engine out. Well, that's going to be it for the weekend. After driving 2.5 hours north, OBD2 swapping a 46 Ford, and then loading this bad unit on the trailer, bringing it back here, we're going to call that time to relax and get ready for work tomorrow. Coolant is drained. Time to start removing the engine. Starting to lose light tonight, and it's starting to get cold out here, so we might be calling it soon. Most of the stuff on the top of the engine is removed or unhooked. Got the accessories off. Now I'm moving to the starter and engine mounts, and bell housing bolts shouldn't be too bad. I forgot how I don't like taking 4-wheel drive Dakota and Durango starters off. And the engine mount system on those, they kind of bolt to the front axle, so it might be kind of a pain in the butt. But we'll see. We'll keep at it and see where we get tonight. Stayed out a little late tonight. I think I'm bell housing bolts and torque converter flex plate bolts, and it's time to yank her out. So we'll probably wait for daylight for that. It's a pretty nice day out. I got my work obligations finished for the day, so I think it's time to maybe try and see if I can get that engine out today. So let's see what we can do. This is the truck that the 318 out of the other parts donor truck is going to go into. This is a 1991 Dakota that has a 95 3.9 V6 and AX15 5-speed. I swapped this in. This truck has been off the road for a long time, up into the point where I got it. It's pretty solid. It does need cab corners and rockers, but I have those, and I don't have the motivation to do it because it's a V6 5-speed. It runs great, but it's not as fun as it could be. So we're gonna fix that problem with that 5.2 Magnum. After making a lot of progress yesterday, I just had flex plate bolts and bell housing bolts today to do a couple miscellaneous things. We're gonna take the engine crane here and try and tug on this engine and see what I forgot. Y pipe is kind of stuck on the transmission. Probably push up on the trans and see if we can get it. I'd like to save that Y pipe. Up there. Let it down a little bit. Oops. That was more than a little bit. And that stupid Y pipe is hanging up on that cross member. So like I need to pull up and out at the same time. Let's see what I can get it to do here. I might have to cut that Y pipe.
It's almost out.
I know, it's so close. We ended up having to cut the Y pipe, but that's okay. It's a 4-wheel drive Y pipe, and I'm probably not going to use one of those anyway, so I'm okay with that. Let's see what else we can get stuck on. Those transmission lines will probably, we can sneak them past that, I think.
Hey, I'm gonna hold this hood because
Right, so the shovel hood crap. Maybe I'll put it in service mode. This thing is not real evenly balanced, so just stay back. You might want to back up a little bit, bud. Seriously, get back. Feels like it's wanting to tip your way is why I say so. I'm not going to bash it into that bumper. I'll keep that bumper, I think, for whatever unknown stupid reason. Mission accomplished. So this 5.2 liter, I believe it's been replaced before. The transmission pan is painted like a bright blue, and then this looks like it's been replaced. This is definitely not stock, so I don't know if this is a remanufactured or rebuilt transmission. I know that it went into gear really good for drive and reverse, but I didn't run it through the gears at all because it did not have any brakes. So this might be something that I either pass on or use for a future project. I definitely want to take the transfer case off of it. It's a 231 that would convert my Wagoneer to a part-time four-wheel drive. Right now it's got the full-time Grand Cherokee transfer case in it, which hasn't given me any trouble yet, but it possibly could. If you're wondering why I'm not doing it in my perfectly equipped shop, this truck had 0 brakes, and I'm not all about pushing this thing, and I don't really have a good mule around here, so it was either drive the truck in there very carefully with no brakes or do it outside. And since we had a couple 50-degree days here in end of February, why not make a mess outside instead of in the shop? So that's probably a good thing. Looks like somebody's been in here before. I know it's got a newer water pump. It's had most, if not all, of the core plugs replaced at one point. So I don't know. There's a little label I might try and look at down here on the oil pan. I don't know if it's a replacement oil pan or maybe a reman engine or something like that at some point, but it's definitely been swapped out, especially with all the loose bolts that I found. Well, I'm definitely not done with the project, but I think I'm done for the day. I'm gonna call the end of the video here. So the newest project that has been a project for a while, wanting to find a V8 to V8 swap that little red truck, and this one was a perfect opportunity. So stay tuned. We'll be cleaning up this engine, getting ready to install it, and getting the little red truck, make it a whole lot cooler than it is right now. As always, thanks for watching. Thanks for following along with the projects on the channel. If you like what you see, like, comment, and subscribe to keep updated on all the goofball stuff that I got going on here.